Hello. Thank you so much for coming, because I really appreciate you guys giving up a Friday night to come and see the film and to hear me and Mark talk about it. So, as you said, I'm Alicia. I'm a wildlife artist and filmmaker, among other things, from North Yorkshire originally, and now I live in Bristol. And last year I was doing a master's in wildlife filmmaking over in Bristol at UWE, and as part of that I produced this film, but I'll mention more about that in a second. But in the meantime, I kind of want to explain about art and how I got involved in Artivism. So in like 2 years ago, I saw one of Mark's pieces online. It was the tiger turning into a barcode. And I was studying biology at the time, and I just thought it was so powerful because it kind of linked into everything I was learning about, kind of the human-wildlife trade, the wildlife trade and humans' impact on the environment. And I just thought it was fascinating. It was such a cool kind of way of communicating science. And at the same time, I was starting to do a summer school with the British Ecological Society, and I was looking a lot into marine animals and noise pollution, and specifically focusing on cetaceans. And I just thought, like, I'd seen Mark's piece, and I just sort of was always drawing and things, and I just thought, oh wait, maybe I should just kind of merge these things, like, merge kind of art and science and make a form of science communication, a bit like what Mark was doing. And so I started working on my piece, When the Whale Sang, which won the Human Impact category in 2021, which is still a very surreal and exciting thing to have happened. And so I'm very grateful for Mark liking my piece. So When the Whale Sang, if you've not seen it, it's a whale turning into noise pollution. So it's fragmenting and it's distorting, and it's reflecting the fact that whales are quite distressed by our sort of sonar and our marine noise. But I also wanted it to look a little bit ambiguous, potentially a little bit hopeful. It's quite a beautiful image when you look at it, because this whale is telling something that is almost like a song, right? It's like the whale's beautiful song when it sings into the ocean. So I liked the fact that you could read it two ways. And so I think a lot of my art, I try and have that ambiguity, and sometimes I try and lean more into the message. But I just think that art, be it like visual or written or spoken or any form of art, is so powerful because it reaches that different audience. People aren't reading scientific papers; they're watching things and they're reading things and they're looking at stuff, and that is so much more powerful. And I think everyone can do it. Like I genuinely believe that. So in 2021, Mark hosted an artist panel with DSWF Wildlife Foundation, and on it was TICH. And I thought he was fantastic. He was so softly spoken, but everything he said was really powerful, and he was just fantastic. And so we kept in touch. And then when I was doing my masters, I had to think about film, and I knew I wanted it to be artistic and art-related, just because of my personality. And I was chatting to my supervisor, and he said, "Have you got any underrepresented artists that you'd like to kind of highlight with your film?" And I said, "Yeah, I've got this great guy called Tich, and his art is great." And I showed him Tich's work, and my supervisor said, "Well, you've got to do it on this guy." So I contacted Tich and I said, "Hey, would you like to do a film?" And he said yes, which I'm very pleased about. And he's the most magnificent person, and obviously an outstanding artist. And I was kind of really surprised to find out he'd not done an exhibition before, a solo exhibition. And I said, "Would you like to do one? Like, we can follow it with a film." And so we worked to put on his first solo exhibition in Victoria Falls. And it's been amazing to see how much that's kind of grown his confidence. He was so nervous, and to see how many he's put on since has been utterly fantastic. And I'm really happy that he's grown so much, just from kind of since I filmed him last year. So yeah, I thank you so much for coming to see the film, and I really hope